Good evening, Richmond County, and welcome to another edition of the Oro Sports Show, brought to you by Richmond Community College, whose motto is Local College, Big Impact. Raider basketball has seen a busy week with 3 games, including 2 against SAC opponents. Hosting Lumberton on Friday, the Raiders let the Pirates off to a fast start and couldn't regroup. Richmond dropped its first SAC game of the season, 68-38. The following day, the Raiders dropped their second game in as many days. It was another slow start against South Mecklenburg that ended in a close 57-54 defeat. Looking to end the 2-game skid on Tuesday, the Raider boys basketball team did just that, handing the 71st Falcons a 34-23 loss. Now, although it was Richmond's lowest scoring performance in any game this season, their defense locked in enough to allow the home team to earn a win. It was Richmond's 3rd win against the Falcons in the last 10 meetings in what was the first time the 2 teams have met since last year's SAC Tournament Championship game, which the Falcons took. Junior forward Nige Stroman and junior point guard PJ McLaughlin led the way with 9 points each in the victory. Adding 8 points was senior wing Quamir Savels, who made his return to the starting lineup after missing a handful of games with a heel injury. Richmond will hit the road Friday for another SAC game against Scotland. That game will begin around 7:30 p.m. The Lady Raiders tipped off twice this week, both games within the SAC. After dropping 3 of their first 4 conference games to start the season, Richmond shifted its focus to playing 1 game at a time. And the Lady Raiders took care of business in a big way Friday, routing visiting Lumberton 54-21. The win snapped Richmond's 13-game losing streak to the Lady Pirates, dating all the way back to February 2014, and made it their 10th win of the season, matching last season's total. Looking to extend their SAC winning streak to 3 games, the Lady Raider basketball team suffered a scoring lapse in the second half of Tuesday's game. Playing host to 71st, Richmond would only have 3 players find the basket in a 37-30 loss to the Lady Falcons. Senior point guard Kiana Love was responsible for 16 of Richmond's points, while junior guard Jayla McDougal added 11 points in the loss. Fellow junior Jakira Covington notched 3 points. An 11-1 run by 71st in the final 4 minutes and 19 seconds of the 3rd quarter shifted the game's momentum for good in favor of the visitors. The Lady Falcons outscored Richmond 23-15 in the second half. The Lady Raiders will look to rebound on the road Friday at Scotland. Opening tip will get underway at 6 p.m. in Laurinburg. A couple of days after splitting 2 conference matches, the Richmond wrestling team powered itself to a 2nd-place finish in the Montgomery Central Duels on Saturday. Using 2 undefeated performances by senior Austin Gallops and junior Ethan Owens, the Raiders racked up a 4-1 overall record. Both Gallops and Owens would finish the day with 5 wins and be named their respective weight class champion. The Raiders would defeat Albemarle 57-24, Randleman 46-30, Montgomery Central 43-33, and Union Academy 48-35. Suffering just 1 loss, Richmond fell to 1st place Glenn 62-18. Now, because of final exams this week, the Raiders had to bypass their usual Wednesday Sandhills Athletic Conference match, but returned to the mat Saturday at the Bulldog Brawl at St. Paul's High School. Up next are the official Richmond County male and female athletes of the week and more, but first, a word from Richmond Community College.
Engineering influences every aspect of our lives, from the cars we drive to the computers we use. Every modern convenience we enjoy is a direct result of the innovative work of engineers and technicians. At Richmond Community College, we are educating the next generation who will be maintaining or improving upon these products and services. Our students work with programmable logic controllers, experiment with solar energy, design and create objects with a 3-dimensional printer, and operate cutting-edge machinery. Students can choose from a number of programs such as mechatronics, welding, mechanical engineering, electronics engineering, electric utility substation and relay technology, and industrial systems. Programs that equip our students with skills for 21st century jobs. Innovative and progressive, Richmond Community College is committed to building a brighter future for its students and the communities it serves in Richmond and Scotland counties. Visit our website today.
The Ellerbe boys and girls basketball teams traveled to Anson on Monday looking to end a pair of losing streaks. Unfortunately for the Wildcats and Lady Wildcats, both teams would suffer a road loss to their conference opponent. The boys' game came down to the final few seconds with a chance for the Wildcats to tie, but Ellerbe ultimately fell 33-30. It marked their third straight loss, and their overall record fell to 1-4 on the season. Prior to the boys' game, the Lady Wildcats didn't have as much luck keeping the game close. Ellerbe lost to the Lady Bearcats 52-7. Both Ellerbe teams will look to enter the win column when they host the Spring Hill Spartans next Wednesday, with the girls' game getting underway first at 4 p.m. With the turn of the new year, a new season of Warriors Elite Youth Football awaits. The Richmond County-based youth football program headed by John Carter will hold registration for the 2020 Spring League this Friday at Hibbett Sports in Rockingham. According to a Facebook post by Carter, the Warriors Elite have paired with Hibbett Sports to host an additional sign-up period from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the sporting goods store located in Richmond Plaza next to Belk. The Warriors Elite is an AAU travel football team that's open to any boy or girl ages 5 to 14 years old with 5 different age ranges. Registration fees for the upcoming spring season, which is slated to officially begin in March, is $100 per player. That cost covers a uniform jersey and pants, a compression shirt, shoulder pads, and helmet rental, as well as player insurance. Also required is an up-to-date sports physical examination form. In addition to the sign-up session, the Warriors Elite will hold tryouts on Saturdays at the Richmond County 9th Grade Academy from noon to 2 p.m. Sophomore swimmer Malin Wallace has been named the official Richmond County Female Athlete of the Week, presented by Moss Brothers Tires and Service. As the Richmond Senior High School boys and girls swimming teams prepare for their final regular season meet on Wednesday, Wallace has emerged as one of the Lady Raiders' top performers in her first season in the pool. This is her second career recognition, having earned it for cross country in October.
So Malin, this is your second career selection and just a couple of months here with RO Sports, having also won it in cross country this fall. So first question, and we'll get into some swimming specifics in a minute, but you know, you're a first-year athlete in both cross country and swimming, so just kind of describe the similarities between the two and which, you know, they're both very difficult, I would assume, to perform. So just kind of talk about those two sports.
They both have a lot of mental and physical aspects that go into it. They're both very tiring, and you have to have good stamina to keep up with them.
Have you seen your stamina improve in the pool this winter?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have a favorite so far between the two?
I think running gives me more of an exercise, so I probably like running just a little bit more.
Okay. So even though you're on your first season with the swim team, your times have gotten better and better kind of each week, and you set your personal record in the 50 freestyle last week with a time of 31.52 seconds. So what's the key to your success to keep getting better?
Just trying to push myself a little bit harder every time and counting. I count a lot when I'm in the pool to know when to take my breaths.
Okay, so it's just kind of it's all kind of a mental mechanism to kind of keep pace. Okay. What's it also like to swim in a variety of events and distances? Because you do the 100, you do the relays. So what's all of that like?
Sometimes it's kind of tiring, but I like it because it helps me push myself more. So like, try to beat your time before or like in the same meet.
Okay. Now kind of shifting over to the team, there are a lot of multi-sport athletes out here, Kenley Fry, a lot of softball players, Kayla Hawkins. So, you know, kind of having people that you're familiar with, what's your first year experience been like with the swim team?
It's been great so far. I really like the girls because, you know, we played multiple sports together, and I can't wait for the next season to come.
how does the team feel about its accomplishments and more so the improvements that you guys make week to week?
They're proud of them. We all are. We like making improvement and getting better and better every week.
Now we're going to shift over to a couple more questions, a little bit about you, and I'm going to start with a funny one here. I asked this to Dakota, our other athlete of the week. Because we're swimming and we're in the water, if you could turn into any sea animal, which would you turn into and why?
Probably a shark, because they're out to get you. They'll do anything they have to.
Okay, right, they're like the king of the ocean.
Yes.
Is that a thing? Like a lion?
Yeah.
All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the most difficult, which event is most challenging that you participate in, and why would you give it that ranking?
Probably the 100 relay, because it's a 100 and it's the last race of the day, so you've already done a couple more events and you're kind of tired. So
Okay.
probably the 100 relay.
Would you give it a number 1 to 10?
Probably like a 7.
7?
Yeah.
Okay, so not too difficult. If you could give the Richmond swimming team a nickname other than the Lady Raiders, what would you name it?
I don't know. Probably the Sharks.
The Sharks?
Yeah.
The Richmond Sharks?
Richmond Sharks.
Out to get people.
Yeah.
All right, last question, Malin. Your primary sport is softball, so with that season kind of coming up in the next couple of weeks, how do you think swimming and cross country have helped better prepare you as an athlete for softball?
They definitely help keep my stamina up and keep me like in shape for the season.
Senior swimmer Dakota Locklear has been named the official Richmond County Male Athlete of the Week. A 3-year veteran of the swim team, Locklear has proved to be one of the most reliable swimmers in the team's short distance races. He's been with the program since its inception in 2017 and just notched his career fastest time in one of his events last week. This is Locklear's first career recognition.
Dakota, you and the Raider swim team, you guys are getting ready to enter your 4th regular season meet this Wednesday, and you're really coming off one of the better races of your career, so that's kind of where I want to jump in. You recorded your fastest 50-yard freestyle time with 26.42 seconds last week at St. Andrews, so just kind of explain what those 26.42 seconds are like in a pool, and what are you thinking about when you're swimming?
Just go with it. It's pretty difficult, but I would like to see my time get faster, but overall it's a decent time.
So when you jump into the pool, what's your mindset like?
Just get at it, try and go as hard as I can, give it my best.
Do you think a lot about the other swimmers, or are you just focused on yourself?
I like to think about other swimmers, teammates, stuff like that, try to help them.
What's it say? Because your time has kind of fluctuated, but with this being a new personal record, how proud are you of that accomplishment?
I'm extremely proud of it. I'd like to continue to work at it and get faster over the season.
Sure. You're one of the few swimmers who have been with the program all 3 years, just 3 years of Raider swimming. So what has your experience with the swim team been like the last couple of years?
It's been good. The coaches really helped out. They try to push me as much as they can.
All right. And kind of building off of that, good coaches often lead to, swimmers or athletes having to fulfill leadership roles. So just kind of talk about being a senior on this year's team and some of those leadership roles that you've taken up.
It's good being a senior and then being on the team and then helping Thomas, Eric, and all the other guys try to get better and faster.
What are some of the things that you do to help them?
Just come here, work with them, try to get them to use the kickboard, open up the legs a little.
Okay, very cool. You also swim the butterfly, which is one of the probably the tougher strokes that a lot of swimmers have to swim. So just kind of describe the difficulty of that and how that has in turn made you a better swimmer.
It is very difficult to do. It takes a lot of strength, upper body and lower body. But if you do it, then you'll get faster in everything else.
And that's always definitely a positive. Dakota, is there any event that you haven't swam yet that you'd like to try before the season's over?
Can't really think of any.
You don't want to try the backstroke or anything like that?
Nah.
Not happy with what you're doing?
I'm happy with what I have.
Okay. We're going to transition now just to some lighter questions about yourself. Have you thought about pursuing swimming at the college level, and if so, where?
I've been deciding, but I think I'm deciding between William Peace, Lynchburg in Virginia, or St. Andrews.
Okay. And St. Andrews has shown some interest, right, with swimming? Very cool. What are some of your hobbies when you're not in the pool training? What are some things you like to do when?
I like to play video games, hang out with friends, go shopping.
Okay. If you could transform, this is a fun one. If you could transform into any sort of sea animal and live underwater, just because we're swimming, which sea animal would it be and why?
A mako shark because it's the fastest.
Okay, so the fastest shark. Last question for you, Dakota. What do you hope to accomplish before your swimming career is over here at Richmond?
We like to place well, get a faster time, and see the team do well.
And that's going to do it for the RO Sports Show, brought to you by Richmond CC. We, of course, appreciate them as the sponsor, which allows us to continue to bring you the best coverage of Richmond County athletics for free. For the latest updates on every sport, head on over to richmondobserver.com and follow the Ross Facebook page for your weekly wrap-up. You can also find some exclusive RO Sports content on all social media platforms. In the meantime, I'm Matt Harrelson. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week on the RO Sports Show.